Think I got it. Hey, we're live.
Oh shoot.
Look at that. Check it out. Welcome to episode number 6 of Cody's Business Show. I'm here with my friend, Grow My Amazon. We're gonna talk about your Amazon business. I'm super pumped about this. Sorry, I'm a little flustered from getting all that figured out, but I'm really excited to talk about your business. So I know we talked a little bit, but how's everything going? First of the year stuff.
Like I mentioned before, just standard, coming off the Q4 euphoria, sales throttling down, kind of back to reality. So, starting to source more products, more suppliers, and deal with the whole tax part, which is fun, and returns, of course. But it's
Return
just
to
part of
worry.
the business.
Yeah, I was talking to you. So when I bought that brand last year, I remember talking to you, and then you offered you were like, yeah, let's get on a phone call, and you gave me a bunch of good advice, and then I didn't realize how big of a deal you were. You posted your end of year numbers, and it's like, holy crap, you're like freaking killing it. Like you're like doing like a lot of volume. So I mean, what you want to talk about your business model a little bit? Talk about
Yeah, I
what
mean,
all you're into.
22. I feel like I might have peaked because I worked. I was telling my wife in like January, February last year. I'm like, things are gonna slow down a little bit, but last year things just were crazy, and they just continue to be crazy for the
Yeah,
whole year. So I was just kind of riding the wave of some really good products, and just like anything with OA or wholesale, you kind of have to ride the wave and then move on to the next thing, unless you have a really good relationship with a brand.
right,
But last year, we're still focusing on wholesale. That's our primary business model. But since 2022, we kind of are like evolving into doing more wholesale bundles with our brand registry, and we're working, with our private label. So in 2021, I have a business partner. We, each put X amount of dollars into a second Amazon account. So we're slowly growing that little.
that's awesome.
I don't know if you want to call it a nest egg, but we're growing that. Haven't taken any money out of it, and hopefully this year we can start taking a couple $100 a month each, just to make it worth our while, because it is
Sure.
profitable. But we're heavy on PPC right now, which is cutting into some of our profit. But we're in the growth phase, so we don't want to slow down the growth by pulling out any capital.
Right, that's huge. And you're doing some arbitrage, right? Just
Yeah,
straight.
I'm part of one leads list, and I have a network of friends that also do arbitrage. So they're
Yeah.
always sending me stuff, and to me,
Yeah.
it's low hanging fruit. So their mindset is a little bit different than mine. I like to go wider than deep, but I'm trying to
Cool.
kind of shifting that mindset to go deeper, because that's how they're making a lot of money on particular SKUs when the opportunity presents itself.
Right. Yeah. My business coach, my mentor, you may know Insane FBA Hustle Q. That his business model is really similar. He got brand registry, and then he's growing the wholesale, and doing some things with that. And not to get too much into his thing, but like he's like killing it. And I haven't done anything at all, but I bought that the brand. When I got their account, they've already done all the work for brand registry, so I have that, and so that's maybe another time I can pay you to get some inside information on how to launch some of those bundles and different things. 'Cause I know that model works. It's just something I've never created a listing. I've never done anything except just to be an arbitrage monkey and jump on, OA, low hanging fruit, RA stuff.
And now you're gonna kind of see both sides of it with a brand. You might have someone hop on that maybe they're, a Chinese seller selling counterfeit or whatever.
Right.
So you'll have to figure
Then
out
I'm gonna IP complain somebody. I'm gonna freaking drop the hammer and kick them off my listings.
what I learned about filing IP complaints as a brand owner. If you have if your brand or if your patent is pending, so it hasn't
Mhm.
been cleared, you can't file anything in brand registry until your patent is cleared by the USPTO. I found that out
Mm.
last year. My lawyer Jeff Schick mentioned it to me, because I thought once you had brand registry, you can just remove everyone, but you kind of have to wait through the whole process. So
Huh.
it took me about a year for one of my trademarks to get approved. So there's a backlog, but just an FYI for anyone listening.
Interesting. So I have a fully issued trademark with mine. So I wonder if that'll help me. I don't know if I'll have anybody jumping on those, but if I create some new hot, you see the ones I was kind of complaining in my the group that I run the other night. We found a really good multi-pack grocery item, and sounds like my kid's coming down the hall, so we might get interrupted. But we found a really good grocery multi-pack, and it had a little magnet with it. They were selling 2 boxes of food items plus a magnet. It's like, what the heck? Why would you do that? Why? How is that?
Yeah, that
And
actually happened to me yesterday. I last year I bought a ton of Funkos and I was just sitting on them because I was kind of experimenting with that brand, and I don't know if I want to keep going down that because of how
sure.
saturated and how bad it is in terms of I've seen Funkos as low as $4 or $5 when I'm paying $650. So but I was listing one that I pulled from my storage unit, and like the UPC matched. I'm like, all right, great. I sent it in. I got an email from Amazon saying it requires transparency, and I'm like, there's no way. So then I like
Of
sent it to
course.
my buddy who he has a direct relationship with Funko, and he's like, look at the brand name. So this brand somehow got brand registry and um, applied for the transparency program. So that's
Wow.
totally Funko should go after them because you can do that for bundles, but not for the actual standalone listing.
Yeah. Yeah, and those kind of listings they're probably not, the ones that are sketchy, you probably can't, you don't wanna
Yeah,
build
the,
that
the
catalog, but
funny bundles out there, like you said, just random stuff, stickers, pens. Like there's no when you make a bundle, you want to have like you're looking at the data with Keepa or Smart Scout. People are buying this with this, so it has to make sense. But people are just doing it just to get that protection. But
Mhm.
yeah, I get it, but at the same time, it is annoying.
Yeah. Are you doing any WFS? Are you doing the FBA type program through Walmart?
Yeah, I mean, it's still very crude. I've been selling.
Okay, crude's a good word.
Yeah, it's just
That's
like
funny.
I'm guessing Amazon FBA way back in the day. Like, there's no Walmart Seller Central app. You can't do anything on your phone. Like, it's
Yeah.
just hard. But we are WFS. But even so, just figuring out what will sell. It's kind of like testing it out FBM, and then okay, we got some sales. Let's send in like 18 units
Yeah.
to WFS. But the WFS procedure for like making a shipment is much easier than Amazon.
Is it?
Like you don't
Okay.
have to. You can just put everything in one box. It can be standard size, overweight altogether. So it doesn't. It's not separated based upon like the class or tiers of how big the item is.
Gotcha. That's good to know. One of my so we're having baby number 6 next month. So it's about that time, and we're
I'll
we're getting
talk to you
ready.
about that. We're expecting in May, so a little
Oh, get
nervous.
out of here! Congrats! I didn't know that. Yeah. Yeah, so we're planning to get as much done in January. Yeah, I've been working a lot to get some of our goals with just what we want to have ready for the business, so we can step away for a minute. And one of my goals is think we have 70 SKUs. It's all arbitrage, and we're just doing Walmart FBM, and we want to send in a couple of our first shipment to WFS in January. So that's about to go down. That's like this week. But my I was gonna say earlier, my friend Barbie. I don't know if you know her. She's a Walmart seller. I think she did like 900,000 or something on Walmart. Is either this year or last year, this past year. But she said that Walmart is the ghetto. That's that her word.
That's a good
So
way. Like, I feel like there isn't a lot of competition because people give up because you're just like, what is going on? Why isn't this item published? Or like,
oh
uh,
gosh, I
why
have
isn't there?
cussed and prayed and sat over this stupid computer. It's harder than eBay sometimes because you got to like and not only that, but now we're having the issue where they oversell crap like all the time, and so it's such a bad experience. But the margins are amazing. So I told everybody in my group, like, you have to get a Walmart and you need to cross list everything, that's substantial. Like, at least check it to see if it's worth cross listing, because some stuff selling for selling on Amazon, it's like $35, and then it's $59.99 on Walmart because there's no competition. And
Oh,
so, like, arbitrage it's a huge opportunity.
and even like one of my distributors, everyone knows about them, EE. So like that's where I bought a lot of Funkos last year. So
Yeah.
they even like they'll allow me to like split my shipment half WFS, half FBA. So that was really cool to kind of like test out that market without sending them to me first and then prepping them and shipping them off to Walmart.
Oh, that's cool. EE will prep for FBA.
Well, they send it to FBA, so you have to pay unless you're commingling. You have to pay Amazon to label.
Mm-hmm.
And with Funkos, they some require bubble wrap, so there could be an
Nice.
extra $1.30 added, but
Yeah,
it
that'd be worth it. I didn't even know it was a thing. Yeah, thank you for dropping some game. That's
yeah.
awesome. I see that. I literally I joke about it with a friend of mine. Like, I know nothing about wholesale, like literally zero. Like, the closest thing I've done to wholesale is like shop at Sam's Club or something. So I'm doing nothing with that. But I know a lot of people are having success with it. What's your breakup? Like, what's your like between? I know you're doing some private label, like some wholesale, some arbitrage. What do you know your like percentage of sales?
I mean, I guess I can give you like a guesstimate. I would say now it's probably like 60 to 70% like wholesale slash wholesale bundles, and then I've been kind of dipping more into arbitrage just because some low hanging fruit, and I haven't really had time to dedicate towards like finding new suppliers. So I mean, the suppliers that we have been consistently replenishing, but there could be an instance where someone comes in and tanks the price with that account, so you kind of have to just sit. So in the meantime, I like to do more arbitrage just to kind of just play around. And even
Sure.
so, like every December when sales start to slow down, I'll like revisit some distributors that I haven't bought from in a while.
Mhm.
So I'll just revisit them and maybe place some new orders. So it's with wholesale, it's mostly I buy from suppliers directly, but
Okay.
I have worked with distributors in the past. I kind of got away from distributors because I started more with distributors and then went more brand direct. Now it's kind of shifting back,
Gotcha.
just
Yeah, that's a world.
evolving.
Yeah,
It's just
sure,
everything's changing so quickly on Amazon, so it's just being able to adapt or just revisit suppliers or sales sheets.
sure. Yeah, I know a lot of people are having success with that right now. I just haven't. I don't know. I just haven't have. And by the way, my background is in sales. Like, I was in insurance sales, and I was really good at it. I just didn't. That's not what I wanted to do in my life. But like, calling and like trying to get an account with, so like I could cold call like a crazy person. Like, to get wholesale accounts. It's just I haven't sat down and spent the time to figure it out. So maybe I'll do that this year. At least dip my toes in, because some people are having a lot of success with it. So
At an
I think
incoming call. Yeah, it's just it's can be a little scary the first time, but I mean, once you kind of have like know who you're gonna talk to, if it's either like a rep or like for me, I like talking to like a small business owner, like the listings with one photo, it sells really well. Their website's crap, like they don't have a lot of time to dedicate to e-commerce, so just talking to them, seeing if they need any help with their listings or brand registry, and
yeah,
just trying to at least get your foot in the door.
yeah, yeah. I hear that. So the brand that I bought, the old owner came and said Walmart wanted to do an order. They wanted to do a direct purchase order. He had done those in the past, and I had to turn an order away. And I'm so sad about it, because that it it would have cost me like 30 grand to pull it off, and I had the time. I think I could have figured out the, and got it in time, but I just didn't have that much capital to like, there was no warning,
Oh, man.
and I have a bunch of other stuff going on, and so, like, my capital, like, generally speaking, I don't have very much capital. I spend it all as soon as I get it, and so, oh, it stinks. It stinks because it would have been profitable. It would have been, a good opportunity, and so yeah, there's a
Yeah,
fall order. It's archery, and a lot of the purchasing is around deer season, and so I'm hoping to have it in order by fall, and hope that they're willing to do an order then too. So but that comes down, being a small business owner, like it's weird to make those kind of decisions for because like now it's my brand, and if I just sleep on it, I just miss those opportunities, and that's
yeah.
uh, it
And
stinks.
those big orders, I mean, even if you're not making that much, but just the amount of volume just really adds up. That's kind of like when the last couple of years I've been going to these trade shows in the
Mhm.
pet category, and I've met a lot of people in my like network, and a lot of them tell me like how powerful like brick and mortar and just selling B2B is. So like if you
Yeah,
get into like Tractor Supply, Walmart, they're buying 10,000 units a month, and even if
right.
you're making $1 a unit, that's 10 grand for just ordering your product from your supplier.
Right, exactly, and it further solidifies your supply chain because, like, with the one that I have, that you have to deal with, like, 2 or 3 different people and, to get, like, the final product, and so, putting a bunch of big orders through there, make sure that none of that's gonna change, like, it's, more predictable, the next time you wanna order, so, like, yeah, the guy I bought the business from was almost 100% B2B, and, my thought was I was gonna get it going on Amazon and get, on Walmart and really moving, and, it's not moving, online, and, it's out of season too, so it's hard to get any real data, but, yeah, so we'll
You
see how
gotta you
that.
gotta learn at least Cerebro. It's a tool within Helium 10 just to see like what keywords you're indexing for and
Mhm.
ranking for. So like once you kind of have an idea about that, then you can kind of pinpoint which keywords you really want to target with PPC.
Yeah, I haven't done any of that.
Yeah, I know. It took me a while to learn Helium 10 because it is. I still don't know a lot of different tools, but I mean,
Yeah.
once you understand it, it all makes sense. It,
Yeah, Q, Insane FBA Hustle, that's, like, his, like, jam. That's what he, like, spends a lot of time on. Like, the first time we sat down, he was like, "Do you know about this?" And I was like, "No." And so he, like, went through and took me through each one, and he was like, "This is the black box," or whatever, I don't know, and I've been, neglecting my further education, so what's working is working really well, so that's good, but I know if I'm gonna, like, if I'm ever gonna get on your level, with what you got going on, like, I gotta be able to think, a little bit higher than just, arbitrage, day-to-day stuff, so
yeah, I mean, arbitrage, it's a great business model, and I feel like it's always going to be there in some capacity, but it can help you get to the next level of where you want to get to. And it seems like
sure.
you're almost there. And
Yeah.
maybe your brand might not be the best fit for Amazon. Maybe you could just focus on B2B and getting into like brick and mortar.
Yeah, I haven't made my money back, which stinks. That was one of my goals, was to make it back in the first quarter, and I don't think it's gonna happen, but if I'm gonna just get cash flowed from that, it's gonna have to be B2B, 'cause I have let's see. Oh, I have literally, like, this is, like, one of them, and then there's a whole, like, briefcase of people that he's transacted with before, so it's literally just gonna be, like, getting on the,
Geez, that's
get
like a Rolodex, like an old
I
school.
know. Yeah, it's amazing, yeah. So we'll see how it goes, but enough about that. Okay, so I wanna pick your brain. Somebody who is so one of my passions is, like, I wanna help people that are, like, super broke, maybe drug addicted or have just terrible life, single parents, food stamp type people that are lower income, I want to help those people with reselling. So that's a passion of mine. What advice would you give someone, say, 20 something uh, year old guy that's, super broke, maybe in debt, has issues, in his personal life, doesn't have any hardly any cash, or maybe let's say maybe $1,000, already working a job and wants to start reselling? What what advice would you give them, or would you tell them to resell? Would you tell them to just get a second job, or like where would be what would your advice be?
I would say just, carving out time before and after work, kind of like mimicking what Gary Vee has said. And just, there's free stuff or just stuff that you can get really cheap online, Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, Mercari, even eBay, and then flipping it on Amazon or, on eBay. So it's just really learning the fundamentals of a platform and then just knowing what to look for. So say you want to focus on electronics, find something that, it looks like there's an arbitrage opportunity, and then just start like doubling down on that. And then eventually that money will start snowballing, and then you can kind of branch out into other categories.
Yeah, okay. That's nice. I always think about, like, the free stuff that's out there too, like anybody can go and, like, the freebie alerts app that I always talk about on my Instagram, like, literally, like, just crazy stuff pops up on there, like, all day long, and it's like, "Hey, this is a blah, 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 go pick it up."
Yeah, even just flipping stuff from Facebook Marketplace back to Facebook Marketplace, like there's an arbitrage opportunity there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
100%.
I think I
I think I
lost you.
lost you. Yeah, cut out a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Mm. Oh, I
Oh,
can't
I
see
can't
you.
see you. But you, oh, really?
Let's
Let's
see.
see.
Yeah, I got
Yeah, I
an
got an
echo.
echo. Uh oh. Can you hear me?
I can
I
hear
can
you,
hear you,
but when
but
I
when I
talk,
talk,
it's
it's
reverberating.
reverberating.
Let's see.
Let's
Let me
see.
let
Let
me
me.
stop talking about
Because the video's showing and everything.
it. Hmm.
Hmm. Says you're in the show. Everyone can see and hear you.
Here,
Here,
let's try
let's
this.
try this.
I'm gonna
I'm gonna
remove
remove
you,
you
and
and
then
then
come back
come
in
back
so
into
we
the
can
link
see
and
the
see.
video.
Okay.
All right, brief intermission here. We kicked my friend off the stream. Let's see. Let's kick him all the way out. All right, we kicked him completely out. So yeah. Luckily, I don't give a crap. This is not a fancy show. So let's see. Episode number 6. Yeah, that's pretty good. We're not having crazy technical issues, and maybe by episode 10 we'll have this figured out. All right, let's send him the link again just to make sure he has it. Hey, he's back.
Oh.
Look at that. See, that's beautiful. I don't know what happened. I wonder
Yeah, that was weird. Everything was showing on my end, so I'm not sure what happened.
when I was talking, it would yell back at me like an echo or something. Oh, anyways, all right. So back to the show. So if you don't mind my asking, um, how have you scaled to your level? Like going from 5K to like 50K a month. Like I have a pretty good idea and understanding of how to do that. How do you go from 50K a month to the numbers you're doing? Like what would you like, what advice would you give somebody that's doing pretty well, but wants to scale up? Is it just capital, or is it did you get like good access to capital, or what's the secret? Give us the goods.
I would say, when I was still working a day job, so I was this was my schedule before I went all in on Amazon. So before I went as a professional seller, I was a management role at a university in the
Okay.
fitness, but I also doing a side hustle of in-home personal training. So I would
Really? I
wait,
didn't know that.
yeah, I'd wake up, I would, do Amazon for maybe like 30, 40 minutes, go to my client for an hour, like 7 to 8 a.m., then go to my day job and then train after work for an hour and then come home and do Amazon. So those like 13, 14-hour days were just killer. And it came to a point where my wife's like, we need to like, because we were in DC, the DC area at the time, and it was
Okay.
expensive. She's like, we need to leave here. So, I was averaging about 50, 60K a month in revenue. So, you know, by focusing all of my energy into Amazon, I was able to scale, starting in, 2019 up through now. But also along the way, I have a team. My wife during COVID, she got let go of her job, and she just, you know, she started with us, and it was kind of like she didn't really know what her place was. So she started out with prep, but we realized we needed to scale our team. So she handles the HR now because we have a remote employee in Charlotte, and we have a person that comes here to prep, and we also use a prep center. So it's kind of like very hybrid with our prep.
Sure.
So just having a team and just communicating with them. I would say we hold monthly or weekly meetings. We have, just like any job, we have, keep them accountable. We do like a 6-month review, 12-month review. So just constant communication with them and just setting expectations, because let's be honest, having someone just prep, it can be kind of like a dull, mundane job. Like we've gone through a lot of preppers. So it's just having like setting expectations for them and just trying to keep the environment, at least here, like we try to keep it like fun and just like low
Sure.
stress. But
Huh.
just also having a network too. I've been selling this, coming up on 7 years, so it's just I have people that I could, if I'm having a rough day or like going through something, like, hey, uh, my good friend John, like, hey John, what should I do? And he'll be like, outsource everything. So that's his thing. That's what's worked for him, and I'm trying to get to that state in terms of like outsourcing more, using my prep center more rather than just keeping everything in house. So
Yeah, sure.
letting go, I guess, having less control, and it's hard for us sellers, because any little thing messed up with Amazon can have like a trickle down effect. Like if you're consistently mislabeling stuff, it could have an effect on your metrics, and it could ultimately,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, deactivate your account. So it's just that's why we have such control, but just trusting good people and just allowing them to do what they're I guess what they specialize in and they're good at.
Yeah. Huh. So the answer is you building a team and outsourcing, and yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I'd say having a team, outsourcing as much as you can, and networking.
sure.
And just our lady in Charlotte, for instance, like she started out at a lower wage, but we realized she has some expertise, or she wants to grow. So she's been learning some social media components. She's doing more wholesale sourcing. So we're looking to send less stuff to her because prep, pay someone to prep, that's like 10, $12 an hour job. So she's worth more than to prep, right? So it's just we want to make sure that we're maximizing her time and maximizing the amount that we're paying her as well.
Yeah, that's smart, man. I didn't expect you to say that. Normally, when you ask somebody in this community that question, they're like, "You just gotta be a beast, man. You just gotta, you just gotta."
Well,
But I
I mean,
mean,
I feel like last year I was a beast, like FBM every day. I mean, there's always a couple orders, just as much as you can. But
sure.
I feel like I was like at Q4, the peak of December. I was very close to burnout, just because I want to do and send in as much as possible. And we're only one person and can only do so much. So it's
Right.
better to like focus on what we enjoy and what we're good at than just do everything.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that's holding my wife and I from like just um, going crazy is what I have recently become credit shy, and I'm just terrified of credit. I'm just I don't know, man. I I think I have I I'm not scared of risk. I think I'm like I'm probably a riskier person than most of the people that my friends and family and whatnot. But going into like a ton of debt, even if it's just for 30 days and the cash flow makes sense, like that's holding us back because I'm just I'm keeping my foot on the brake a little bit with that, and I'm not proud of it. I don't know, I can't really put a real reason or justify it, but that's been holding us back. So
I mean, it
um
can be scary, right? Because it's just basically we have all our eggs in one basket. So it's just like, I mean, God forbid something happens to our Amazon account or Amazon in general. Like, so
man,
there's a lot
yeah.
riding on these sales, so we can pay off our credit cards and then provide for our families. So I get it, but I mean, it's just you know they say scared money don't make money, right?
Right. I know. Yeah, Billy Flips, says he Chad buys inventory, and what he means by that is he just maxes out. I think what he means by that is he just maxes out all of his credit and just goes like 1,000 deep on, an ASIN or something. It's like, yeah, that's amazing. I'm so proud of you. But for me, like, I don't sleep well at night, and so that's probably a flaw. Maybe I'm hoping I'll grow out of that soon. So give me 6 months and hopefully I get
Yeah,
over
I
that.
think
But oh, go
if
ahead.
I was gonna say, I think like if you start building that B2B business with your brand, like that'll have some cash flow consistently coming in, and then you can go deeper on your Amazon with credit cards.
Yeah, I think so, and I think I like credit card points a lot. So
Oh my god, yeah, it's just I got into like when I was living in Charlotte after we moved from DC to Charlotte. I was involved with like a Amazon seller group, and from that group it was like everyone, like a whole mix of like drop shippers, RA, OA, PL. But like I met these two guys, and they were big into like these buying groups where all they're doing is just buying stuff and just maximize or getting the points, cash back. And it's just I learned a lot about like maximizing credit card bonuses or like using what cards for whatever categories. And
yeah, sure.
that's kind of led me into like travel hacking, like converting like Delta points or American Express points that I have to like Delta points, because it's technically like cheaper if you're buying a flight with points than dollars. You'll see like, for instance, like if a flight's $150, it could be like 10,000 points, which is like $100, right?
Yeah,
So it's more, I guess it's cheaper, I guess you could say,
yeah.
if you use points.
That's amazing. Yeah, Ben books the world on Instagram. He's like doing a ton. Like I think he's got a pretty solid arbitrage business just to a prep center, and then he's just traveling with points, just using the money and traveling. He says he never pays for a hotel, and he's like staying in like Costa Rica, and then he's like the next days in like Greece or something crazy. So
Yeah, for Thanksgiving, we traveled to Wisconsin, and my wife was like, I'm pregnant. She's like, can we splurge on first class? I've never flown first class. I don't feel like I'm that type of person, but due to the circumstances, I was like, all right. So we used points, and I mean, it was awesome. Once you get a taste of first class, there's back. You sit down, they like, what do you want to drink? Like the whole flight, and it's just less fighting for elbow room, and it was a good
sure.
experience.
That's awesome. I love that story. My wife won't fly at all, so, I don't have that problem yet, but, that's really cool. Well, okay, so, last question. We've been on here for a few minutes. Um, what's your ambition? So, I mean, you're a younger guy, you've got a family,
I'm getting
you're,
there, but uh, I mean,
what's 10 years from now look like in, Grow My Amazon World?
I would say, I've always wanted to push the social media piece, just because, I feel like there's a lot of value I can add. It's just the time element and just carving
Cool.
out consistent time. But I don't know. I'd say in the next 10 years, having more of a work life balance and just I want to keep the wholesale business going for as long as possible, but also have maybe a few brands under my belt where I could just focus on a handful of SKUs rather than a few hundred. So
Yeah.
working less, just optimizing my time so I can spend time with my family, travel more, and just hopefully retire at a semi decent age and do what I want to do. Even though I work for myself, sometimes it's just I'm not leaving the house. Every
Sure.
couple maybe going to UPS or something. So it's
Right.
just
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I like gravitate towards the computer, even though I know like I don't necessarily have to do anything. I feel like I have to be working all the time.
Yeah. I know that feeling. Well, I think you'll pull that off. That's
I hope
pretty.
so.
That's easy. That's just you going. Just keep doing what you're doing. I uh, I think for me, I want to get the Amazon business up to where it's running on a higher level than it is now. So I want to keep growing that. I think my written goal is in 2024. I want to have this is kind of our rebuilding year. We literally took every dollar that we had last year and bought a house and
Mm,
and some land. And so like we started the year like just broke, like
yeah.
and so it was kind of a rebuilding year. But my goal is in 2024 I want to have a 2 to 3 million, and I want to do primarily just arbitrage to a prep center, and then grow the points and Rakuten and things like that. And so that's I think getting there enables me to do what I'd like to do. I'd like to do more with nonprofit and more stuff with in that world. So
That's awesome. I feel like you're well on your way there. It's just just taking it day by day. Like you have these great goals, but it's just you have to break it down. Like how are you going to get to these goals? Kind of like with fitness. When I used to train, like I would tell my clients, like you want to lose 30 pounds, but how do you get to that point, right? You need to set like daily smart goals, like small obtainable goals. So I feel like you're writing your goals down, and I'm sure you providing like you have like an action plan to get to that point. So as long as you're just you know slowly grinding away every day, you're gonna get there.
yeah, 100%. Well, man, hey, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate you sharing some of your story and on the social media stuff, dude. You should absolutely, like, 100%. You should be doing that. I've met so many cool people, like, just because I shared like a picture of me making eggs or something stupid, and then somebody messages back or whatever. Like, there's so many cool people out there, and you when you create content, like you get to meet some of those people, and like you get to talk with them and figure, and then a few of them will become lifelong friends and a part of your
Yeah,
network
that's
that
true. Although my issue lately, it's I don't know why I get very upset with these like sponsored ads for like drop shipping automation, just these gurus, and it drives me insane. I'm sure you're the same way because it's just I've heard some horror stories from particular automation where you have to wire them 30K and then they don't hear anything back from these companies. So it's fraud and it's horrible. So
I'm almost sure all of those are just blatant scams. I'm almost sure with that said, I think that, like, if someone came to me and said, "Hey, I have 30 grand. Can you get me a prep center? Can you get me a list of products to buy, and can you purchase them and just use my credit and use the cash to back it up?" I think I could make something that made sense to, them. But the people that are running ads to do it, uh, I don't know. It seems, yeah, I agree with you. Like, that, how hard is it to just be like, "Oops, sorry, it didn't go well. We bought the wrong product." Enjoy, enjoy getting returns for the rest of your life, and you lost 30 grand. So.
yeah, I mean there's no risk for the automation company.
Yeah, hey, that can be your content thing. Like, I'm telling you, man, literally just pick up your phone like this and point it at yourself and just start talking. Like, I like you just do that once a day. Like if you just make a 15-second video every day, like I think, I mean, you're totally right. I agree with you. You have so much value, inside your head. So I mean, just like putting it out there, like I bet you could. Like you just said something just casually earlier in the interview, and I was like, you can do that. I didn't know that. Like I bet there's a ton of stuff like that. So, you should
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely be doing content.
I'm gonna write it down as a goal. Like I'm the generation like I'm a millennial, but like we weren't really front facing people, right? We're always like behind the camera, so it's kind of a mindset shift for me to be okay in front of a camera.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy, man. You should absolutely like if there's even like a piece of you that like maybe you want to do it one day, you should just start like posting something every day. Like just start with like your breakfast and then like a few days in you'll be like, "Oh, I'm bored with this." At the like you'll do some other piece of content that, you know, who knows where it can go. Yeah, I've had some that get like hundreds of thousands of views, and then I've had a bunch that get like 3 or 4,000. But I mean, when you think about that, think like that's insane. Like
It
just,
really is.
just like being able to say something to the world and then having thousands of people hear it, I'm a I talk about mental health a lot. Like I think people struggle with depression, anxiety, and things like that. And like being able to put the message out in the world, like, hey, I struggle with that, and I'm, happy. Like I have a great marriage and a great family, but I still have, like these things. Like you could probably help somebody too, at some point. So
That's true. I mean, this space can be really lonely unless you have like a good network of friends.
yeah, 100%, man. Well, dude, thank you so much for coming on again. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to end this and record, so I hope that this all recorded.
Yeah,
Pretty
hopefully.
sure it did. Yeah, but I will um I'll be in touch. I hope let's not don't lose. I want to keep following your story, so don't
All right,
stop putting out
I'll
content.
work on the videos or the posts. So
Yeah,
that'll be
love it, man.
that'll
Cool.
be
Well,
it.
hey, thank you so much for coming on again. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, Cody, I appreciate your content and just all the value you've been providing for me and just all your followers. So we'll be in touch.
Sounds good, man. See you, dude.
All right, bye.
All right, let's figure this out. All right, thank you for coming on. Thank you for watching my episode number 6 of this show, and go sell some crap on the internet, baby. All right, let's end this.